here at 94 Feet of Life. Remember, 94 Feet of Life is the Facebook group. All capital letters seen is the Facebook fan page. The YouTube, capital T, lowercase HE, all capital letters SCEN is the YouTube. 94FT of Life is the Instagram. And we are on Twitter, 94 Feet, all spelled out, of Life 1. We everywhere, man. I got Germ, I got Ham, I got Trav, man. We doing freestyle Mondays again. You know, with the regular season winding down, we are 20 days from the end of the regular season. You know, instead of going with the agendas and the scripts and talking points, we just gonna talk. Just kind of what we do best, man. Just talking the game. Whatever happens, happens. Whatever the topics are, topics. So very light, very casual. So, fellas, first of all, how's everybody doing? Does anybody have anything on their mind? Because I don't know what I want to start with, but I don't like to be a selfish point guard. Do y'all got anything y'all want to talk about? How y'all feel?
I got the fresh news on the return transfer of Tyler Harris to Memphis. I thought
That's
I thought
definitely
that I thought that was a little unique. It kind of felt a little high schoolish. I actually kind of dig it in one way, but I kind of see where I don't know how much sense it make, but it's one of those where you do what you do. Like the late great Shock G said, do what you like.
dang. Shout out Shock G, rest in peace, Shock G.
Right.
Germ, Trav, what's going on with y'all? How y'all feeling and what y'all got?
It's on you, John.
Listen, man, I just had to make sure. I'd have been on a dummy mission all day. I had to get my internet straight so we can be here tonight. I had to go to a couple stores, man. It's just been crazy day. But you know what? I'm happy to man, look, I don't got much to necessarily at the moment, but I'm just happy I'm just happy that the game's been flowing. I'm happy that some of these teams are starting to get healthy. Slowly but surely. I do want attrition to not be a factor this year because I don't want to hear none of that nonsense that we hear every year. Well, if such and such would have been healthy, I don't want to hear that this year. Y'all be sounding like some busters.
It's gonna happen, sir.
I
So let's start with this.
don't like the way the world is, Ham.
Ignorant stats of the day. Steph Curry, 85 threes in the month of April.
He still got 2 more games left in April. That's the sad part.
This man might make 100 trades.
He's gonna make 100. If you're a bet man, you bet over.
We got that. We got Chris Paul, 67 assists and 3 turnovers in his last 7 games. I don't want to do the first take thing of what's more impressive. I will just say this. I am completely awed by what Steph is doing. Steph is going to lead the league in scoring, it looks like. But 67 assists and 3 turnovers is sounds fake.
Especially with today's pace and how fast everything is playing, and he's playing with that much control. Yeah, it does sound very, very worked, scripted.
He is controlling the game. And man, not too long ago, I said I think it's 3 people you don't if you don't like them, it's something wrong with you. One is my guy Jersey World Red. If you don't like dude, something wrong with you.
Something wrong with you for real.
Second is Big Shot. If you don't like him,
you
it's
got
something
proud
wrong
on
with
me. You got proud on me if you don't like Big Shot. That's straight up.
And the third person is Stephen Curry. If you don't like this dude, it's something wrong with you.
At least watch, enjoy for the entertainment value.
Dude is playing the game the way you want a young player to play the game at a short height.
It's incredible.
He's unbelievable. We was on director's cut last night, and he lost the ball, and Buddy Hill was sweating him all the way to half court. It was 4 seconds left. All of a sudden, he heaved up a shot, and I think Worldwide Les said, if he hit this, boop, and sure enough, he hit rock bottom.
I saw the one
I said, man,
saw that this morning. Yeah.
I said, man, leave dude alone, man. Leave him alone.
I don't. You know, there's just your phrase, and you run out of adjectives to describe it, but you do. The volume, the efficiency, the range. It's as credible a thing as I've seen in a while. Like, I don't know, Germ, Germ is the biggest Kobe fan of the four of us. I remember that one year, I think it was 05, 06, where Kobe went on that tear for like a week and averaged like 54 for like a week and a half.
It was like 55 a game.
50, yeah, something like that. Other than that, I can't think of anything other than that
it was a stretch. It was a stretch probably about 6 days or so last year when Dame was putting up like 50. This was right before things went on ice, so it was like January.
Uh-huh.
He probably, at that point, he was playing the best basketball in the world at that particular point, you know. So, but
Bubble Dame too.
Bubble Dame was ignorant too. This is true.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I mean, and then the one what Kobe do 9 out of 10 or 40 or more.
Yeah, it was something.
Yeah, he did something stupid, something dumb.
And the thing with Steph is like, yo, he hit 85 in a month, and you're like, he's shooting over 40% from three.
Dude is shooting not over 40, it's 50. During this span, he's about over 50%.
I hadn't even went. I got the database pulled up. I hadn't even went back.
50%. He's about 50%, man. He's probably over 50%. I know y'all was talking about the runs. There's only one other person run that I witnessed. I mean, besides Mike, but Gilbert Arenas.
Gilbert
went on a killing spree. It was either 40, 50, or 60.
That was 07. That was the year he went for 60 in LA, right?
Yes.
60 in the game. 60 in the game. Ironically, Kobe went for 45.
Right.
That was the most ignorant.
He went on a spree. I mean, Gilbert went on a spree. It was like 40. It was either 40, 50, or 60.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That's when he got the name. That's when he got the nickname Hibachi.
Yeah, Gilbert had a spree like this. Kobe had one like this. Dang, but it just doesn't happen because you just think the law of averages says, and he had an 18-point game against the Wizards. But you just figure in a month, you're going to have more than one cold night.
Right.
And he's had one. He's had a cold night this month.
That was in DC.
Well, no, the sad part about this whole thing, though, the man hitting like 10 threes a night. 10, 11 threes a night. And he only taking, and majority of his shots that he's taking is from three. So when you see this man's box score and you see 11 for 19, 11 for 18 from three, you get to looking like, so you scored 33 points just from three.
He's going to shoot. I'm pretty sure this would be a great ham trivia. If it was an 82-game season, this man would have taken 1,000 threes in a season.
And probably gonna make more than 400.
But I'm saying it's volume and efficiency. It's both. It ain't like, oh, he 3 for 6 tonight. 3 for 6 is a quarter.
He's at 273 total on threes for the year.
How many games?
53. Right.
Wait, hold on, wait, stop. You said he's taken how many?
He's
No,
made.
he's made 50.
How many has he taken?
640. He's shooting 40 right at 43%.
Oh.
So he's shooting 12 of these a night.
Right.
And shooting 43. It's crazy.
So realistically,
on 34 minutes.
Okay, so realistically, at the rate that if we was in an 82 game season, he'd make 400.
He'd make about 420 of 1,000.
He might make 472. Think about this.
Yeah,
you said he had 273.
Yeah,
He's making 5 a night.
But then they about at what the 60 over 60 games by now.
Yeah, they had the last 12 game stretch.
Right.
So I mean, unless he get to being ignorant and making 10 a night.
What you say? You said 273 divided by what? How many
53.
games? 53 games.
He played 53
divided by 53. He's averaging 5 threes a game. He's making
making
5 threes a game.
He walk into the building like I got 5.
And last night he went what? 11 for 18, 7 for 14 was threes.
Right.
It's incredible. And then speaking of incredible, Cardio Kev, the Slim Reaper, just did some cardio yesterday afternoon and had 33 points, 28 minutes.
Off the bench.
By the way, just so y'all know, just so y'all can understand why this makes sense, he didn't even play in the first quarter.
That I didn't know.
Kevin Durant did not play in the first quarter. I know because I watched the game. I know because I watched the game.
Right.
I can tell you right now, Kevin Durant came in the game at the 8-minute mark in the second quarter and scored 9 points in 8 minutes.
Now,
4 from 8 shooting, by the way.
I've seen Jordan, Kobe, Bird. I've seen all the great ones that get named. Purely on ease of scoring. Just the ease of scoring.
Second to none.
Nobody I've ever seen has scored easier than him.
Yep. Second to none.
There are people with more points. There are people who will probably end up with more points. But as far as just the ease and the proficiency of which you can score, easiest scoring dude ever.
And I'm gonna put it in perspective for him again, big shot as I have many times before on this show. He's only got one season where he's taken more than 20 shots per game. And he's led the league in scoring 4 times on that clip.
I've never seen him get his shot blocked. I've seen that once.
George Hill got him from behind in the finals that year. But straight up with him though.
I seen Jaylen Brown catch him off a pin down once on a hustle play.
Okay,
so we got 2 in about 5 years.
Yeah. Hey, but you know what's funny? It's funny because you don't see him often, so you remember when you see it. You know what I'm saying?
You see, right?
If he was really, it's about Kevin Durant is being nice to y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Kevin Durant wanted to gun, like if Kevin Durant wanted to really be on like Allen Iverson business,
he could do so. Yeah. And then I'm liking it because he going back to Twitter, he trolling whoever he want to troll, and he coming out, like I said last week, he getting 30 on 13 or 21 from the field. You know what I'm saying? And he go right back to trolling. So it's like,
hey man,
he having fun on both angles as long as he can stay healthy.
I'm with the smoke today. I'm with a little bit of violence today.
Oh shit.
Oh.
I'm gonna tell y'all like I told y'all in 2017. What if your number 2 player trumps your number 1 player in the biggest series of all time? You got to put him in number 1. Yes, that tweet that Shannon Sharp got a sucker for, which he's still a sucker for not even apologizing yet. But that thing was true.
I love the Trail Cuss the Hill promo every episode on
That
Shannon.
thing, that thing was true. Because right now, Kevin Durant is the best player in the he's the best damn player in NBA today. Prove me wrong, somebody. Please prove me wrong.
Soundbite that one. Yeah, the
Please
promo.
prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I
I
love
think
Kyrie. I love a lot of these other players, but prove me wrong that Kevin Durant is not the best player in the league.
You're
well,
gaslighting, Travis. You're gaslighting. I like
well,
it.
John, there's your show title. When you go back and caption this show later on or tomorrow, there's your show title. Kevin Durant is the best player in the NBA. I honestly, everybody healthy, everybody on their best day.
I can't
I
disagree.
can't really say not.
I mean, the only
If
player, the
y'all
only
and
player,
whoever, and I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna take it even further. I'm gonna pin this link. Whoever want to come off here and say something about it, you're more than welcome to do it.
I
hey,
ain't got
so we
no
got
light up.
some comments. We got comments going. Shouts out to everybody in the comments. I mean, look, somebody said, my guy Jarrell, that's Tyrell people. He said, I mean, I can tell you like this. This is all I'm gonna say. All I want to say is this, and I just want to be clear when I say this. Kevin Durant, 1-on-1, who's better? Would you rather have Kevin Durant shooting the ball? Or would you rather have your favorite player shooting the ball? That's the first thing I'm gonna start. 1-on-1, would you rather have Kevin Durant playing defense or your favorite player playing defense?
It depends on who
Kevin
you talking
Durant,
to. It
I
depends on
seen
who you
Kevin
talking
Durant in
to.
this game. When he entered the game yesterday, we're talking about DeAndre Ayton, who in the first quarter ate Brooklyn alive. DeAndre Ayton was on punishment when KD got the game. I watched KD step to the side and say, go ahead, put it up. Go ahead, put it up. Give me that. I watched him do this. Coming from weak side. I've watched him close possessions. I've watched him do the whole 9 yards. I'm not saying that he's a shot blocker or he's Dikembe Mutombo or none of that. I'm saying there is a significant difference when he is on the floor offensively and when he is on the floor defensively. I watched him come off a screen and go to the basket, absorb contact, and won. I watched him do the whole 9 yards yesterday. And that's not including the victory trot up the court off of a rebound that goes into the Econo spray paint that Trav like to call it. And your favorite player know about the Econo spray paint because it didn't happen to him 1 year. It happened to him 2 years in a row on the same court both years and in the same spot.
Well, the second year he got out the way.
Yeah, he didn't look Kevin direction the second year.
He gave that spray paint to JR that time. JR needed his car painted. And that's
Trav
exactly
must be eating. Trav, you eating over there?
Yeah.
Man, you could turn on camera. It's family, man. Turn that camera on.
Wait. The man said he needed his car painted. I'm sick of this dude, man.
But to Trav's point, man, he's.
Here's the thing.
And this is why we said, especially once the Harden trade gets made, we said in December, as long as they're healthy.
That's what it is.
I just don't see anybody dealing with them 4 out of 7.
Trav didn't put the damn link in the comments and on the
Facebook.
Facebook.
I was about to say that too.
Oh man.
And to answer and respond to my guys on YouTube, my guy Barry Milburn. Shout out to Barry Milburn. He'd always
What Coach B talking about?
He said KD's the best scorer, but he don't know about the best player. I dig you there.
Okay. Okay,
Fact is
Coach Barry. So since you there,
Barry is my guy, and he's more than welcome, and he will
yeah.
see this link off in here too.
Oh yeah, I know he
the
good,
only
but
the
and I'm
only
not disagreeing with what he's saying. I'm just like adding to that. What's his home?
so would it be LeBron then?
I mean, y'all know I don't like to do this stuff, man.
I know we don't like to do it, but I'm saying if it's
Well, here's
But
what I'm
but
saying. Here's what I'm saying. Let me say this. When somebody says that LeBron is better than Kevin Durant, the argument normally goes like this.
at what? For
And
me,
no, but this is how the argument goes, Ham. I'm gonna give you the argument. Well, LeBron means more to his team. How? They play the same position. They both handle the ball.
I know
They
that
both
answer
have,
already. But go ahead.
but I'm giving you all the stuff
But
they
you're
say.
right.
LeBron means more to his team. Well, LeBron is a better rebounder. Well, you say that because LeBron gets more rebounding stats. Are we basing this on statistics? Because
It's
analytics can say it can't be rebounds.
no.
You know LeBron is not a better offensive player. You know he's not better one-on-one individually defensively. We know those two things. So if you're not better individually, offensively or defensively, how are you the better player? Then they say, oh, well, he got a better IQ or a higher IQ. So the Nets' whole entire team don't have high IQs and stuff like that is what you're telling me? Like, you're telling me that all these players in the league and all of them stupid and nobody's smart as LeBron. That's kind of how I take it when I hear that, because how do you know what this man know?
Hey
Kevin,
everybody, the link is off in YouTube
he finished his
and
chicken, now
and Facebook.
he's straight now. He too fast.
Um, I mean, I just want to have lovely conversations with my friends. Um,
hey,
um,
so
I
somebody
mean, if
said
you think,
LeBron all around game. Let me say this to somebody before Trav. I don't want to cut you off. Let me say something. Wait
go
1
ahead.
second. LeBron's all around game meaning what? Because he get a triple double. So that with that logic that you just said, Russell Westbrook and James Harden are the two best players in basketball. I just want y'all to make sure. Hey, I'm just gonna say it now because ain't nobody played better basketball this year than James Harden. And now there's where I want to argue. Here's
the problem, Jerry.
Oh, let's do it. Ham, I got the notepad. I'm ready. What
The
do I need
answer,
beer?
I don't know if you do.
Do I need gin?
Give me some hen, give me some gin. We'll just take both.
Hey, Barry, the link. I'm Contenders 10 off in YouTube. The link is right there. Just click on the link or copy it, and we'll love to have you on the show. We'll love to talk to you and see your point of view.
The answer to this with LeBron is so unique that it don't apply to it applies more than just current day. The physical specimen that this dude is and how he maintains his body, just the whole nine, everything with that compiled in with the touch and feel for the game and the IQ, that's unmatched historically.
Right.
We ain't seen that. We ain't seen nothing close to that from nobody. I mean, we seen some, he got a little Magic, he got a little Carl, he got a little Charles, he got probably a little Oscar, and so on and so forth, but just all comprised in one package. And it's like nobody before him. It's probably going to be a while if anybody after him does anything remotely close to what he's done. That's just that simple. Dude has been the best player on a finals team 10 times. Granddaddies ain't even seen that because Bill Russell probably wasn't even the best Celtic all the whole time he was there. Maybe not, so, but it's like, we ain't seen that. Mike can't claim that. It's stuff that LeBron done that ain't nobody else gonna do. That 017, no business being there. That 2018 team, no business being there. But they there. Why? The common denominator on that. So it's like they could throw the shade about the losses in the finals, but it's like again, who's been the best player on a finals team 10 times?
So
I'm not
Nerd.
giving no dude credit for that because that
we
don't
got
mean nothing because
we
he ain't
got
I got
winning.
to. I
we
got
got
to.
we got it. So we got a guest. We try, Freestyle Mondays, man. We try to have company come through. And one of our loyal members always contributes something great and a pretty good dude, man, from what I can tell. It's our man, Coach B, otherwise known as Barry. Barry, what's going on?
My guys, what's happening? Shout out
So
to the whole crew.
so you coming in a great place, Barry. The reason you coming in a great place is because I know what I've known about you and your participation in '94 over the last. Because Barry been down with us about a year and a half. Barry, he know his hoops, number one. But Barry's definitely about this Laker life, and he's about this LeBron life. So Barry, Trav says the Kevin Durant, all things equal, best player in the NBA. Everybody healthy, everybody on their best day. Do you want to rebut that? Is there a reply? Because Trav is full of that chicken or whatever he's on tonight, so he's ready for whatever smoke. Coach B, is Kevin Durant the best player in the NBA, or does 23 in LA still have this title?
Well, let's just throw out my LA bias. It's not LeBron. It's not LeBron.
Oh, I'm surprised.
It's not LeBron. The guy that goes under the radar to me, and Ham will appreciate this. There's a guy that said to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Nobody talks about Giannis. I mean, Giannis granted, he hasn't got over the hump yet. Talking playoffs, right? The Bucks kind of remind me of that Warriors team that was, that was knocking on the door, and then all of a sudden they kicked the door in like Biggie and Boo. So he's got a little more help now. He's got a little more help. He's got Holiday, and who nobody is talking about. I'm telling you, watch out for Bobby Portis coming off that bench. Bobby Portis is a dog. And I like Giannis as the best player in the league. I mean, he's won the last 2 MVPs. I mean, like I said, to beat a man, you got to beat the man. Now, Kevin Durant, birthday twin, that's my guy. So I am with him on some smoke. He's definitely. Listen, I've never seen his shot blocked. So to hear Jaylen Brown block the shot, however he blocked it,
I'm
and
telling you,
George
I've never
Hill,
seen it blocked.
it's like, listen, I've never seen Kareem get his shot blocked. You know what I mean? So Kevin Durant is right there when you talk about all-time scores. And listen, the guy is efficient. I mean, like him or not, personality, whatever you got against him, the man can flat out ball. I'm gonna say he's a pubic hair number 2, if I could say that on the show. But to me, I'm gonna say it's Giannis. I mean, Giannis can go 13 for 13 from the field on you, 30 points, 15 boards, 7 assists, and Milwaukee to beat you by 20. So I mean, it's all in what you like, what you're looking for. I like energy. I love energy. I love the consistency. And Giannis, I mean, to me, Giannis, and don't nobody want to get in his way. Don't nobody want to guard him. So, I mean, you'd rather take your chances guarding Kevin Durant. I know this sounds crazy, as opposed to guarding a Greek freak. We're just going to try dumping on you on game, and he can put it on the deck. So, I like Greek freak.
Okay.
Let's talk about Giannis real quick, fellas. And I think MJ brought this up last week.
I like it, but I'm gonna let go ahead, Big Shot. Go ahead.
And shout out to Cole, Germ. I know where you at with Cole, Germ. Shout out to Cole.
MJ brought this up last week about Giannis. That Giannis has kind of become the forgotten guy.
Forgotten one, right?
But if you look at Giannis is 28, 14, and 5 like clockwork. Giannis, to your point, Barry, Giannis has probably had the most consistent last 3 years of anybody in the league. Like Giannis has almost no variance in his numbers. It's 28, 14, and it's 5 every night. What is? I want to say what's happened to Giannis because clearly nothing's happened to his game. That he has kind of gone.
Well, what he was, I think what Big Shot, what MJ was referring to, it was kind of like of the MVP setting. Like he the one too, and he didn't default. But we know, Giannis is that guy. Giannis is that guy. But on to Barry's retort to that. I put my glasses on. My beard is on point right now.
Looking real serious too, son. Getting ready for the birthday.
Going into my little Kevin Samuels basketball type deal.
Oh, not Kevin Samuels.
This man here is something different.
Barry, I know you say Kevin Durant is kind of like a 1B to Greek Freak, which I actually respect the Greek Freak. But who's more consistent from the field? You're quiet because we know what's good.
Well, no. Well, when you say who's more consistent from the field, where are we? So you can actually compare Greek Freak 3 to 10 to Kevin Durant 15 for 17, and Kevin Durant trumps that. He's more consistent and beyond. Well, 15 and beyond, it ain't even close. It ain't even close. KD smokes him. Defensively, if you go 15 and then, you're talking Giannis might be about 65% from the field. And Kevin Durant looking it up. And Kevin Durant can do the same thing. Kevin Durant was playing with Russell Westbrook, and he didn't even get that many touches as what he's supposed to get, and he still was putting up 30 on some consistent 11 for 14, 11 for 15, 11 for 16. He was doing it. Greek get his touches because their team is basically revolved around him. Kevin Durant was playing on a team that is supposed to be revolved around him, but it really wasn't, because he had a point guard that took over everything. But he still was giving you 30 on some efficiency, very efficient. Greek Freak, yeah, give him his knowledge. Give him his power, give him everything you want, give him his flowers, give him everything. But at the end of the day, he is not better than Kevin Durant.
I know what happened there to wise though, and it's something that MJ even spoke on years back in regards to Russ Westbrook. Once you got to about the second and third year of the triple doubles averages per season, it became the norm. And just in society in general, especially today, people are bored with consistency. When Greek been putting up 28 and 14 like that, a couple blocks. He been working on both ends, like that for the last few years. Really since they've been contending, saying at that level where he's elevated himself to legitimately a perennial top 5 dude every year. How you gonna leave him out first team with what he doing? You know what I'm saying? But that's where it's caught up with them. And then, like we even said the last couple of years with that Milwaukee team in general, they just got to show us in May that they can clear the hurdle and get over the hump and get to the June series. Well, I think it's the July series now since they pushed dates back and everything. But
yeah,
as far as just that though, with Greek, he gonna always be in that mix. But we saw it happen. We saw it happen with Mike when they got sick of voting Mike for MVP. They got sick of voting for Braun for MVP too, and before they got to that reach with Greek, they turned the corner on him too. But
we got sick of voting for Tim Duncan. Love Tim Duncan to pieces. Tars in the house. Shout out to Tim Duncan. Tars.
Hey, if you even remember though, you got an argument about one of the ones that Timmy actually won, because one of the ones
Jason Kidd.
I'm saying they could have gave the J Kid an
But
02.
Yeah.
it is Tim Duncan Tim Duncan's prime years, Greek's prime years. This is what you
Mhm.
get.
Yeah.
This is what you get.
This is what you get.
And
And go ahead, John.
I think this is a
That's
situation
food, big
where
bones.
we have a situation where we have to just be honest about how everything goes when it comes down to how all of the NBA royalty views the game too. Because the one thing that we have to remember is Mike still plays a factor in a lot of the things when it comes down to it politically with basketball. Because Mike never won 3 MVPs in a row. So what makes you think they're gonna let somebody else win 3 in a row? And that's something else that that MJ said. So if Mike didn't do it, why would somebody else be able to come along and do it?
And you know what they kind of remind me of, Jared? Even flipping over to baseball, like how they
Mm-hmm.
do the Hall of Fame vote. Oh,
Yeah.
well Babe Ruth didn't get voted in 99.9% or 100%, so nobody else could. Fuck Babe Ruth, man. Even though I ain't got no animal with the Babe, but it's like, yo, if you at some point, the president's gonna have to be set.
At
That's
some
why
point, we got to just reward consistency for being consistent.
It's like when Steph got the unanimous.
Right.
Who else was gonna get a vote that you're realistic?
yeah.
No, nobody, baby.
That's why I think it becomes a really interesting conversation.
And I
We did
and, and I know they stopped Braun from getting a unanimous 3 years prior, and I remember when they did it with Shaq a decade prior as well.
yeah.
And it was like
Mm-hmm.
y'all doing it to be petty.
Now that I think it becomes an interesting conversation. Like we had our award show, run that back. We'll probably post the award show again.
Oh,
And none of us, if I remember the show right, I don't think any of us said Giannis.
I had him on first team.
I
I
had him
think
on
I
first
did. I think
team.
I had him on first team. That's about it,
I'm
but
talking
not
about
On
MVP.
first team,
when we
but
got to
not
the MVP
MVP.
No,
conversation.
no.
Right.
I mean,
He
but
was he didn't get individual superlative love on his MVP.
let me ask this question.
Mm-hmm.
This is the question that we got to ask. What is the criteria for the MVP award?
Depends on who you talking to. But
Barry, what's your
you want a general
Well,
outline?
no,
Barry?
let's
Remember
actually
study?
let's let everybody give theirs.
Barry? So let's
Because let's
start
have
right
fun
here.
with this.
Barry, MVP is what? If Barry Milburn is making a vote, what are you looking at?
Man, that's a great question. So you gotta consider team, right? You gotta consider team. Um, and then like Jern was talking a little while ago, I mean, you gotta at some point you gotta reward consistency, not just over, you know, a regular season, but over a period of time, a few seasons. And I mean, Giannis he's as consistent as they come. And if you don't know anything else about Giannis, he gonna play. There's no such thing as a what are we calling it?
Load,
Resting or
PTO.
PTO or
load management.
yeah,
Load
load
management.
management. Yeah, there's no such thing as that with Greek. And I mean, you can't do nothing but reward a player who shows up like that. And then his teammates show up for him, most cases. Um, so for me, I mean, the seeding, the team, yeah, consistency. Yeah, it's not much, but and then I mean, Jern made a great point. It's amazing how much MJ still influences the game, and he's not even playing. He hadn't played since Clinton was the
2003,
president or whatever. So,
2003,
but
2004. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
John,
so yeah,
MVP.
I mean,
What does MVP mean to you?
For me, I'm looking at the best player in that respective league for the year. I'm not looking at because it's hard to factor in team success in a game that still sometimes comes down to an individual's greatness. Because at the end of the day, when LeBron won MVP, why a lot of people hold LeBron so high is because they said LeBron is the best player in the league. So if we're going to keep that same thing and that same trend, that means that's how Mike won a lot of his MVPs. We can argue and say a couple of Mike's MVPs should not have went to Mike. I know Barkley outplayed Mike or played on par with Mike one of them years.
That's the
and
year
could
he
have been
won.
right there with him. I'm not saying that don't mean that I'm saying take away the MVP. I'm just simply saying if the defensive player of the year award is predicated on who played the best defense that year, if sixth man of the year is predicated on who was the best sixth man that year, how is the MVP award something about anything other than who is the most valuable player to the league that year? Who put butts in seats that year?
I think too, if I could add the germs insight, I think you also have to look at, there's the most valuable player and then there's like the most important player. And I mean, we could argue Steph. I mean, if you take Steph off this year's Golden State team, they'll be lucky if they win 15 games. If you take Giannis off of Milwaukee, there may be a 7 and 8 or 8 seed or something like that. So I think not just, valuable goes into importance. At the same time, you got to look at the game deeper than that. Like, okay, if I remove this player off of this team, how well is this team still going to play? How far can they still advance without? There's only a few guys like that right now that if you remove them off the team, it'd be lucky if they make the playoffs.
Trav, MVP, what does it mean to you?
It's consistency. That best player on that team.
They're beautiful.
It's so many variables, man. I can't even name it, but I know it when I see it. And that is what this MVP is starting to be now. I know it when I see it. This year, I mean, without even the criterias, before he got hurt, James Harden was the MVP. James Harden was the MVP. Now that James is hurt and probably won't be back to probably playoffs. Now that you look at it, Steph got a little sprinkle in it. Embiid got his sprinkle in it. Nikola Joker got his sprinkle in it. It's a lot of stuff you got to see. It's like, excuse me. It's not like, I mean, we can put it as criterias, but there's also barriers that can be broken to even get that MVP. So it's kind of like a girl you like. I mean, you look at this girl and you look at it, you be like, man, this may be it. I don't know about everybody else, but you might be that one. And that's what the MVP is to me.
Ham, what about for you? Whether it's historically, what you thought in the past, or has what you thought of MVP changed?
Trav took it when he stated, I know it when I see it. And for me, I have to roll with it that way because I'm one of them cats that studied the pattern of this. Going back to when it was player voting, all the way up to like 81 when the vote went to the mainstream media.
Mm-hmm.
And when it went to mainstream media, those target points to look for were coming out of an 82 game season, needed 50 wins. Team to be on the team from 50 wins, and also no lower than a third seed going into the playoffs. Well, Russ messed that up,
Yeah.
but he messed it up. He messed it up with historical proportions because what he did when he won hadn't been done in 55 years when he did it.
Right.
So he took that, he grabbed that and yanked the whole thing out. But the wins have to play a factor, I think, because it's just, you see oftentimes it's like cats used to bark about the 35, 5, and 4 from Kobe in 05, 06.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I feel you. He was a monster. They won 47 games, I think, 45 games, and they were 17. It hurt. That hurt the chances for MVP.
Man,
I think wins if it's valuable to me wins, but This is the one award where wins gotta mean something.
Well, even like with
Gotta
Nash,
mean something.
people look at that, but I'm like, they like to go to the numbers with this, of course, too. In the main statistical category, points. We only averaged 15. Yeah, he was averaging 15 and like 13 and a half assists, meaning that he's got his 15 and he's still accounting for another 30 of their offense. And they getting up and going like this. He's sparking this. I can't take that away from that man if they're going to get that man MVP for that. Because as far as I'm concerned, he earned that one. The two that he got. It is what it is. Go ahead, True.
I think. See, here's the thing. Big Shot, I don't disagree because I don't think you can give it to somebody who's not on a playoff team. Let me say that. But I think playoff teams should be where we end the criteria. Because when you get players that are on historic runs, like Kobe, that was the best season we've seen since Mike in the year that the man hit 37 a game with only 10 threes. Like, who, historically, going up against that version of Kobe, Mike himself would have cowered to that. Mike himself would have had a problem with that. You see what I'm saying? Like, who was checking? Who wanted to stand in front of Bean at that time? Nobody. That was evaporate. Like, no, you're about to get evaporated. We gonna get this.
Man put up 62 and 3/4.
Man, listen, Mark Cuban had to retire the jersey. Mark Cuban got some of the worst of Kobe. You know what I'm saying? Mark Cuban got some of the worst of that man.
Do you know the backstory to that, Jerm?
No, I don't. What's the backstory?
So the backstory to that is Del Harris coached Kobe, and Del Harris sat him on the bench his rookie season. And Kobe, y'all know Kobe and his motivation and all that. Kobe said, every time they play Dallas, I'm going to kill him. Del Harris was the assistant coach on Dallas. Killed him every time.
I can see that. I can see it.
I said the same thing. I said, I said it's always something with Kobe. You give Kobe an inch, he gonna take a whole marathon.
Hey, that's actually great. That's great info right there. But see, that's where I'm saying with Big Shot, like, I agree with you, but I think it has to be, we have to set a criteria to say, okay, be a playoff team and be a significant part to that playoff team. Because you remember when the Achilles happened, there's no way that Laker team should not have been a higher seed than what they was. But the only person who took it serious was B. And he willed that team to be where they were with Dwight Howard at that time he wasn't Hotep Dwight. He wasn't coming for violence like he was last year. See what I'm saying?
We got swept by Trav Spurs that year, but we ain't have
that was a dozen Snicker bar a day eating Dwight.
That hurt.
Yeah, hypoglycemic Dwight.
But y'all do have to understand that Dwight Howard did come off a back injury, though.
Yeah,
and he still was getting the Lakers numbers.
Okay.
15 and 15, something like that.
That's cool. That's cool. But again, he was a part of the problem still, too.
You want to know the other part of the problem? The other part of the problem is you got a point guard that was aging and he was hurt also.
And I get it. I'm not saying that this team was supposed to be a number one seed. I'm just saying you wasn't supposed to be 7, and Kobe wasn't supposed to be laboring, carrying the whole city of LA with the Clippers at the time that was trash too.
LA deserved all that ass whooping. They deserved it.
Trav. That's the reason why Bean used to beat you up like that as a Spurs fan. That's the reason why right there. You know what? I get it now. I get why you.
I tell you what, Jerm. That's all fine and dandy. But who is the last team who beat a fully loaded Lakers team in the playoffs?
The Mavericks. Good. Next day.
Actually, it was Dallas.
It was Dallas.
But we made Derek Fisher start crying and Kobe cry.
Yeah, but Kobe wasn't even playing when y'all swept them.
Made that man cry, man. We made that man cry on the bench.
Hey,
listen. That man cry.
This is just how we're gonna end this. Remember the time that y'all was up 20 on the Lakers and Kobe gave Bruce Bowen that
Man,
shoulder?
he gave that man the
With that
blues.
shoulder. He gave him the
Man.
shoulder. And
But Kobe, I mean, that's why Coach Popovich with respect.
By the way, I love
Kobe
Tim Duncan and Kobe
so
historically
much.
for that entire decade. Them is two dudes that if we have to say anything, you have to say them two dudes historically, they dominated that entire
and that's
decade.
why they both are being inducted in one of the best Hall of Fame classes.
I got to give Timmy.
I got to give Timmy
love.
2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
The 15th. More like 3 weeks, but you know.
We're gonna be robbed of the Hall of Fame. I mean, it's gonna be great, but just not being able to hear what Kobe would say being inducted, that's gonna bring tears to a lot of people's eyes, myself included.
So are they doing it before the season? They doing it like right before the season is over? I guess
they doing it.
I think it's like in 2
They trying to tear everybody.
It's in a couple weeks. They trying to tear everybody up.
I think that they say the date was the 15th.
Yeah, because the regular season ends on the 16th.
Right. So they trying to do it all. Hey, if you gonna fit everything in one bag, go ahead and do it then.
So speaking of doing it all, the Knicks tape is back in season 9 in a row.
Going for 10 right now against Phoenix. They up 1.
Going up for 10 has contagious. So let me ask y'all a question. Bigger surprise this year. Which is it's appropriate they playing each other. Bigger surprise. Rapid fire. Phoenix or the Knicks?
It's the Knicks.
It's the
Knicks. It's not even close.
It's the Knicks. Them folks finna have playoff ball in the Garden. Timbos and all.
Let me say this about the Knicks. I've been watching the Knicks during this streak because I try to watch as much basketball as I can, especially knowing football season. When they come back around, it's going to take up a lot of time. I'm going to be honest with y'all. It ain't even just the fact that they defend. It's the timely knockdown of the threes. It's the timely stops. It's the running when you see it. It's having Derrick Rose come in the game and just still be. He's still Pooh. For those who don't know, Pooh is his nickname. He's still Pooh. He is still that dude. Everything he does, the floaters in the lane, breaking people down off the dribble, getting people involved. But let me just say this again, man. I got to give a credit to this man. This man deserves it. Julius Randle has shown me everything that he's about. I got to give that man respect. I got to make sure we shout him out. He out there hooping. He out there taking double teams, making the right plays out of the traps. He's doing everything. Rebounding, scoring. I mean, just, man, the Knicks are actually fun to watch.
You talk about a first round series that if you had told me Thanksgiving, your first round series, you're gonna have Knicks Hawks in the first round of the playoffs, I'd be like, you crazy. But here we are, sitting here 20 days from the regular season. It looks like that's what we're gonna get.
If that was the start right now, the Knicks would sweep them.
We got the Knicks,
or at least in 5.
We got the Knicks, the Hawks, and the Hornets in the same playoffs.
Knicks, the Hawks, and the Hornets.
We ain't seen that since '95, man.
Right. Shout out Larry Johnson, Anthony Mason, and Glenn Rice, and Steve Smith. We going back to them days.
And I want to go back to
not Miami Steve Smith either. Charlotte Steve Smith.
I want to go back to what Jerm was talking about with the Knicks and the way they defend. I thought he was going to go and share how confident they just look. Like they're just. And one person that we're not talking about is, man, RJ Barrett. RJ Barrett is like really starting to find his NBA game. I mean, he got that Penny Hardaway build. He's a lefty, and he balling. He is balling. And another person that's not getting talked about a lot is the coach behind Tibbs, Kenny Payne. he working with them boys, man. Coming from Kentucky and working with Coach Cal. Coaching matters and systems work. Don't listen. I'm a coach and I got my little system around fitness. Systems work. Coaching matters, and even the coach got a coach. Don't forget, y'all know that. I ain't, I like that. I like that. I like to throw the people that nobody talks about. Like, I mean, Tibbs, he gets a lot of credit, but Kenny Payne, as that assistant coach with that defensive mindset, and RJ Barrett, man. Plus I'm a lefty, so I'm a little biased, but RJ Barrett, man, he can go. He can go.
What I like about RJ's game, a little bit I've seen this year, is that RJ last year would sometimes get stuck out at the 3-point line. And RJ is not a great 3-point shooter.
Right.
But what he's doing better this year, and we always talk about this, decisive.
Yeah, you could tell he took a backseat a lot.
When you get it, one jab step maybe, but you get it, you square your shoulders and you go. There's not a lot of wasted time. So even though he's not a great 3-ball shooter, he's attacking the rim and it's decisive. Get foul, maybe you get the foul, maybe you get the pull-up. But he's a lot more decisive with his game this year than he was last year, where he would kind of maybe throw in an extra dribble here. You know, he would maybe force something. He's just more decisive. And that Knicks team is, like Jerm said, they are a fun group to watch.
Fun. They fun.
They are. They play hard. But like any tip team, you're going to play hard.
Don't play hard.
They play hard. It's effort. So if you're a Knicks fan out there, because the Knicks have been terrible the whole time 94 been in effect. So,
the Knicks been terrible the whole time. Social media been in effect.
They had one decent year with Melo and them.
With Melo, yeah, they had 1 year. Jeremy Linsanity.
Yes,
hey man, it took them boys to go off in there. It took Dipset to go off in there and bless their flow. And hey man,
yeah, Dipset brought the magic back to the guard, so they're gonna be a fun team. I think the Hawks will be a fun. You know, I'm happy about this. I'm glad to see different teams in the playoffs.
Yep.
Like it got old watching Orlando get swept every year. That wasn't boring.
Or win game 1 and don't win nothing else.
Don't win nothing else. They'll win that game 1. You prologue the program, man.
Hey man, hey. Hey, they gotta prolong the program, man. They need to.
I'm glad to see the Hornets. I'm glad for the Hawks. I'm glad to see the Knicks. It'll be good to see Phoenix back in the playoffs. I ain't seen Phoenix in the playoffs in forever.
Phoenix in a minute.
Hey man, don't let 12 get in the house, man. That's all I'm gonna say, man.
I'm gonna say this to y'all now because just transition to this real quick, y'all. Currently, right now in the West, we gonna have a big finish between the Jazz and the Suns because I think they play each other twice in this last 12 games.
45.
So that's going, huh?
45 back it.
45 should be back by the time they play, I think. If not for the first matchup, probably the second.
Okay.
Here's the most interesting part of this, though. We got Portland at 7, and they're a half game up on the Grizz that have just tapped that ass twice.
Yeah, Portland is going into a tailspin.
Man.
The last 2 weeks.
More than anything else here, Portland is in a spot where they either gonna have to play these Grizzlies or they're gonna have to play Steph.
Oh, I'm still with Steph. Yep.
And I just want to let the world know right now, Dame ain't never beat Steph.
Not in postseason scenarios.
He's never beat him in a series.
Not that I've seen.
He not only never beat him in the series. When Steph was on the floor, he ain't win a game. The one game that they won in 2016, Steph didn't play. Steph came back the next game. He came back in game, I think, 4.
So who is 6 in the West now?
Dallas has. So here's the thing with Dallas. They've won 3 in a row. They've beat the Lakers twice, and they are now 2 games out on the Lakers. The Lakers right now looking like they've just closed out the Magic.
I said it 2 Fridays ago. The Lakers keep fucking around.
They keep messing around. They're gonna be somewhere where they don't belong.
Hey,
Now,
let me tell you something. If you want to see the troll nature of NBA Twitter, let me get the Battle of LA in the first round. Oh my goodness.
Hey, let me tell you something. Hey, Big Shot, we get the Battle of LA in the first round.
This is
no, that's not again. This situation and these scenarios that are coming up on us are very intriguing because the Lakers are going to close out on a very interesting schedule. They got some interesting games here coming up.
I will say this, Barry, and I know Barry, you can put your Laker bias back on, and we got a lot of Laker fans in this group. Y'all gotta stay out there 6 seed. Denver is a much more inviting matchup.
Jorge said you ruined this whole damn move.
Talk about the Knicks.
Talk about the Knicks.
I was actually complimentary to the Knicks. He act like I talked about David Wright or Jose Reyes back in 2006
Hey, see, there you go.
Hey, Barry, let me ask you something about the Lakers. All jokes aside, is this obviously the big factor is LeBron and AD's health. Like, that's clear. But number 2, I guess, is this Andre Drummond? What's happening with Andre Drummond?
I think Andre Drummond is starstruck. I mean, it's LA. I mean, he's coming from Cleveland and Detroit, and now he in the the Walk of Fame in Hollywood and all that. I think he's starstruck. So he's like Jaheim. He's finding his way back, trying to find my way back.
Listen, I am not mad at a music reference.
Hey, man.
I did that for you, Jeremy. I did that for Jeremy.
Oh my God.
But all jokes aside, listen, I've been an LA fan since Magic Johnson first put the uniform on. My dad got me into sports, Raiders. I liked all the teams my dad liked. And I think rotation and minutes is the biggest problem for LA, because if you take this year's team versus last year's team, I think they're a little deeper than they were. And so trying to find minutes for all the pieces that they have and keep everybody happy and involved and interested in things like that, I think that's the biggest struggle, and that's all on coaching. Because if you look at the team last year versus this year, everybody was enjoying coming to work. It was fun. This year, it feels like work and it ain't fun. And I think that's what's killing LA right now. That's non-biased. That's just me looking at the game.
Before you go, Jerm, do you actually think that this year's team, is deeper than last year's team?
Slightly. And I say that, and I don't think they're deeper from a talent perspective. I think more so from an IQ perspective. Like, they got basketball players this year. I think last year they had more athletes. They had, you had McGee, Howard. These cats was either blocking shots or challenging shots, contesting them. You don't have that this year with LA. You don't have that this year. Other than AD.
With last year's team,
he's been hurt.
You had either JaVale McGee or Dwight Howard coming off the bench, especially those last 2 series where you got Goon Dwight and you had JaVale coming off the bench. You had one of your biggest IQ minds,
playoff Rondo,
which is Rondo.
Now he over another locker room.
Caruso. You had quite a few bodies on that Lakers team last year compared to this year. It ain't it. It's not it. I mean, this is just my opinion. I really think the LA Laker team that won a championship last year is way better than this year's team.
Total. Oh no, Doc, I agree. I agree. As a team, like
Team
as a team
and their
chemistry,
team chemistry, depth,
totally better.
and
Absolutely,
everything.
absolutely. I think that this year, I didn't even want them to break the team up last year. In my opinion, I thought they should have just run it back. Why would you break the team up? But
Mhm.
I don't coach the team. I'm not the GM. I just think there's you guys know 94 feet of life. This isn't just watching the ball go in and out the hole. It's beyond the 94 feet. It's the locker room, home, whatever it might be. It's beyond the 94 feet. So
Mhm.
I think is interesting with that team is, and we talk about chemistry and pieces fit. Now, his numbers are better, but going from playoff Rondo to Dennis Schroeder is two different things. Now, Dennis has the numbers, but Dennis was so effective in Oklahoma City and with the Hawks as
off
your
the bench.
sixth man off the bench spark plug.
Mhm.
Dennis got to LA. Dennis said, I'm starting. I ain't with this 6-man thing. I want
20 mil a year.
I want my money. Dennis, that's the one thing that COVID is cheating us out of among the many things is we getting cheated out of seeing Dennis in Hollywood. Because I think if COVID wasn't about Dennis in Hollywood would be something else.
Man, Dennis going to have about VH1.
Boy, Dennis would be out here. But
Reckless.
So
I think that piece, and the other thing you said, Barry, you talk about drumming. This is something that I always talk about in Ham, and Trav noticed, Germ noticed. It is a difference in this game when your points matter now. When the points, that 18 and 15 that you was getting in Detroit and in Cleveland, nobody gave a damn about your 18 and 15. Now they matter.
Talk that talk, Big Shot.
Now they matter. And drumming, starstruck maybe, but you need it now, brother.
You need it.
You can't be a passenger. You weren't brought here to be a passenger.
Mm-hmm. And let's talk about this from a lab standpoint now. Let's get there. The issue with Drummond and the Lakers is this. It's really, really simple. What offensive skill set does Drummond possess that is unique? His ability to pass the ball. Drummond is one of the 6 to 10 best big men in the NBA when it comes to passing the basketball. That's what his unique skill set is. Defensively, he is very, very efficient and effective with his steps. He's good at keeping control of pick and roll situations, especially when he has another guy there with him. I just watched Luka and Dwight Powell rip the Lakers a new one 2 times in 3 days, with Drummond and AD showing on this pick and roll. Luka passed the ball inside. Powell gets the ball. It's one dribble, and then we got Payne. Well, shout out to the coaches in the building. Slide step, catch, fire. That's what I seen happen on 3 straight possessions, and they got whatever they wanted. Once they figured out that worked, Carlisle said, oh, so y'all can't guard the pick and roll. Hey, Powell, you playing the rest of the game. You ain't leaving. Dorian Finney, slide that corner. I just want you to slide all up and down this corner over here. And that's exactly what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Drummond and his ability to finish at the rim is below average. He's not a finisher unless he's dunking the basketball. He has no left hand. I'm sorry to say it. He has no left hand. And he is who he is in that regard. He's there strictly to get boards and stand behind LeBron and help AD be there for weak side.
He
protection.
is what Dwight Howard was last year. He's you got him there to do that work.
Did you know what they don't have though that they had a year ago? We talked about this a bunch. Was just that link to overwhelm you, where they could go with Braun, Kuzma, Twin, Dwight, JaVale, AD. They can mix in that six. And it's like they 6'8" and up everywhere.
And Wes Matthews was a horrible pickup. He was just terrible. We could have.
Yeah, that's not going well.
That was a horrible pickup. I hated that. Listen, I don't even like to use the word hate, but I hated that pickup. That was terrible.
His name got him. His name got him there. His name and what he done.
The issue with West is he is a more ball dominant Danny Green.
He ain't ball dominant.
He ain't ball dominant.
When you say ball dominant, when you're talking about ball dominant, Trav, you're talking about somebody who, if they catch the ball and it's time to shoot, if the shot is not there, West may try to drive the lane, and it's not a good deal.
That's the thing. West don't even do that.
Well, I didn't see that. I didn't watch this man do it.
It's a lot of the same with Danny Green. And
it's not far off.
It ain't far off from Danny Green. It's not far from Danny Green.
And because you gave him that money, that contract, your mindset is I gotta put him in.
Right, you gotta play him.
I gotta play him.
Paid him, you gotta play him.
You know what he's gonna have to. If I am Frank Vogel, it's a tough spot to put the young fella out there, but he'd get more minutes.
You talking about Horton?
THT would get way
Thornton.
more.
Yeah. I like his game. I like it.
He's their best scoring option outside of the two obvious people.
Kuzma and Caruso.
Well, I'm talking about Brian and AD. I'm talking about Brian and AD.
Yeah.
Hold up. We just picked up Ben McLemore. I just have to give him more minutes. Wes Matthews is gonna have to sit the 13, 14 spot. Listen, Ben McLemore.
It might be Jared Dudley time for West.
Yeah, that's it. It's fine.
That's why. I mean, like I said, the Danny Green comment is not to say anything negative. Is if Danny Green don't got the shot, what do Danny Green do?
He
pass it back to the people he's supposed to pass it to.
And that's what I think. That's what Wesley do majority of the time. If he's shooting a three, trying to throw that old arrow out.
And look, I remember we talked about this with Danny Green in our inbox last year. You know, it's like he's been chasing folks for a long time.
He's been chasing. He's been playing defense. Danny Green.
And it's the same with Wes.
He's been Danny Green.
It's a lot of miles on them legs.
Right. They've been chasing a lot and been making quite a few second team all defensive teams too.
Right.
That's why
and West coming up a bad Achilles too. He coming up a bad Achilles.
That's why to me you go with
messed that Achilles up early in his career too. So remember when he got that big contract when he first got the big contract after the fact. That was when he messed up the Achilles then.
I don't think he's been right since.
What's that big shot?
But no, go ahead, Big Shot. I'm sorry.
That's why to me, Horton THT should get more minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got to get them younger guys.
I would use if I'm Frank Vogel, we're going to use these last 3 weeks to get young fellas real minutes.
Got to.
Rapid fire style.
He got the size. He got the mindset.
He got the size. He got the strength. He's athletic.
He can play.
He got some stuff.
Yes.
Everybody healthy for the Lakers. What's their best lineup?
To me, everybody healthy is LeBron, is AD, is young fella, is Twin,
and Drummond,
and probably Dennis.
You like Dennis out there, like that, Big Shot?
You know, Dennis is.
He on the floor.
Hey, when the playoffs start and he get to shooting at that 3-pointer again, and they get the air balling, I don't want to hear nothing.
It'll be a problem.
Dennis got to come up the bench.
He on the floor with bro.
You want me to tell you my best lineup for the Lakers?
Hey, no, I want everybody. So yeah.
I'm gonna go Caruso. I'm gonna go Braun. Excuse me. I'm going Thornton over Kuzma with AD and Drummond healthy. I'm going with them. Them my five dogs, man. Them my five dogs. I'm going with.
That might be your best for position list because we're talking about everybody on the court being at least 6'5" and everybody wanting to guard somebody.
Right.
Right.
I'm not mad at that. I mean, for offensive purposes, the only problem with Drummond is, man, he just so bad with his around the basket, man. It's hard to watch sometime, man. It's just when he's around the basket, it's like because he don't finish with either hand very well, or he don't finish well outside of dunking. It just makes it hard for him to be on the floor.
This is what you do with Drummond. This is what you do with Drummond, and this is the Greg Popovich scheme. He don't leave that block. Notice how he had Tiago Splitter. Tiago Splitter did not leave a block. Notice he was an expert in reverse layups. He ain't dumb. He used to reverse layup everything. Look at it. Look at 2014. 2014. The man stayed from block to block. When he made a screen and roll, he ran to the block. When he got the block, he either laid it up or reversed it.
Get that man some more real estate than that, Trav.
Either you block, you run to the block, you make layups, you make dunks, and you get rebounds.
Trav gonna put the ankle bracelet on.
I mean, at the end of the day,
that's your job, man.
I mean, I'm not mad at him. I just think overall, it's just one of them situations where this is LeBron James's upgraded Tristan Thompson.
Dude, a lot of these coaches, but I mean,
I hate to say that like that, but
a lot of teams don't know their roles at certain points. Certain teams got to have roles at this point. That Laker team needs roles. Like
you mean like certain players? Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, they need like to
define roles.
Define their roles. I mean, look at how Doc did the Boston Celtics. They were so loaded with talent, but they had to understand a role that they had to do. He put Kendrick Perkins as a role, and Kendrick Perkins was one of your best defensive centers in the league. KG took on a role. One of your best power forward, defensive player of the year. He was right there.
No, he won defensive player of the year. No, he won it that year.
Won it. So, I mean, when you have talent like that, they have to understand and buy into a role. But when you got that paper involved, it's hard.
Can we give PJ Brown some love on that team? Sometimes he gets left out on that team. PJ Brown was significant on that
James Posey. Remember the death lineup when they used to close the game was Posey, PJ Brown with the big three.
Trick or treat, Tony Allen. It was a team of gangsters, man.
What's my guy, Big Debo, Bo? What's his name? Bo, I forgot his name.
Leon Poe.
Leon Poe.
Tony Allen.
Hey, Leon Poe is 6'8", giving everybody work on the block.
Giving everybody work.
That's because he was 27 when he went to college.
That man was punking everybody out, man.
Hey, so I want to get Ham back in there. Got on Ham. You want to give a shout out to 12, as you call them. First of all, the fact that Ham calls John Moran 12 is funny only because Ham don't get excited about nothing.
Nah, man. I watched 12 yesterday, man, get to rock in the open court, and what he did to CJ just wasn't right.
He made a dude fall and then faked the ball to the right side. CJ went far right.
No, not that one. The one he was coming full speed at him downhill. It was yesterday.
Oh,
he threw that jump behind his back, and CJ just was like, "Ooh, Olay." CJ Olayed both ways. That's how bad it was. And then he went to the cup, and Nurkic fouled him.
Yeah, he did.
He bolted on Nurkic. They ain't even called a foul.
They ain't even called it. He dunked on him. He dunked on him. He sure did.
And then he been shooting 40% from three this month too. You know what I'm saying? He got his shots up. He getting looking good with him, man. It's like it's funny to me because I get on Twitter and it's like I stay away from the Grizz fans on Twitter. They just ruin everything. Like you winning the game, man. Why y'all worried about who's starting? They need to start Melton, man. Shut up. Let the Melton keep coming out the pan if it's working.
He just gotta find something wrong.
Well, that of course, you know what I'm saying.
You know
It's
what?
all of them. It's
Speaking
all,
of
I'm like,
Memphis, I'm gonna give some props. And I can't believe I'm gonna give these props because this dude was one of my least favorite college basketball players.
DB.
Not DB,
Oh,
Jack Tripper, aka Grayson Allen.
that's
he
who
got
they.
it, man. That's my
That's what
guy,
Y'all know
Jack
why Jack
Tripper.
Tripper, because he's tripping somebody every 5 minutes when he was on Duke.
Freeze company.
That's who they was giving a hard time to yesterday in regards to Melton needs to be started.
Grayson been playing some good ball. Though.
Grayson been put up that 20.
Grayson reminds me a lot. And it's crazy because they both went to the Duke. Remember how JJ Redick first about 2-3 years in the league, he was like, man, JJ Redick is terrible. And then about the 4th year, he kind of found his legs in the league, found him a role that he can do. Grayson is very much on that same path.
It reminds me of JJ in that path, but game wise, it reminds me of Bobby Sewell.
Yeah,
Bobby.
Yeah, he kind of got a little bit of everything with, he's a little bit more athletic than Bob was.
Yeah.
Grayson could sky. What a lot of folks don't realize, like,
Oh, man.
Get up.
But Memphis got a fun team. That's another fun team.
Having fun playing together. That's the fun part about watching them. It's like, you get Kyle Anderson smiling and throwing lobs in the open court. It's like, come on, man. It's like
they're gonna talk a little trash too. They talk
that
a little
man
trash
threw
too.
that man threw the slowest. He threw the slowest lob.
Everything Kyle do is slow. Everything.
How you throw a slow lob? I'm talking about that shot just floated, and John Morant floated right over with them. Boom! I'm like, man.
They got Dylan Brooks, who has never met a shot that he didn't like.
And the first game back, Triple J fouled out.
Did he? Right on brand. Of course.
Hey, man.
Trav,
you would be the one to point that out.
Right on time. Right on time.
That's how you know he back.
He back.
Shout out real quick. The Knicks winning streak is over. The Suns ended it today, 118-110. Also, the two longest winning streaks today in basketball were the Wizards and the Knicks, and both of them ended today. The Spurs ended the Wizards. Real quick news around the league as we're doing the show. Raptors beat Cleveland 112-96. Lakers beat the Magic 114-103. Sixers skull drug the Thunder. Well, they thunderstruck them, folks.
They need
121-90. Pistons actually beat the Hawks. Hawks have been winning as well, 100-86. And right now, currently, we got the Pelicans is kicking the Clippers' ass, 95-78. Bulls right now are Bulls are behind by 6 on the Heat, 82-76. Timberwolves are up 9 on the Jazz with 9:42 to go, 87-78. And the Grizzlies currently are up 1 on the Nuggets in the second quarter, 6:15 to go, 35-34.
Coach B. Coach B had to go.
Go ahead, Go ahead. I got you for something that one.
Okay, so Coach B, let me just in case we don't get you back on camera before the playoffs hit. As of today, who's playing in the finals?
Man,
you can throw your Laker bias in there. Let's sprinkle that AD and LeBron are healthy in the playoffs. But I get it.
Yeah, I mean, like I share the beat it man, you got to beat the man. I mean, LeBron 10 finals. I mean, they're gonna name the finals after LeBron after a while. I'm gonna go. I like the Bucks, man. I like the Bucks. I like I like LA and I like the Bucks. I like the Bucks.
Okay.
Listen, I'm standing by. I got Giannis winning the MVP for a third year in a row. We talked about it on the show. It hasn't been done since Bird. I'm sticking with the Lakers and the Bucks. That's where I'm going.
Okay, we will run.
I got the Bucks. I got the Bucks, and I got the Nets in the East Finals. And I got your Utah Jazz. Shout out to Utah. You said they was going to be the number 2 seed. They're actually at number 1. So I got Utah and I got LA. And it could be scary because Utah's playing great. But I like Utah. That's my final 4. The Jazz, Lakers, Bucks, and the Nets. That's my final 4.
You got the Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
The
classic.
Kareem invitation.
He gonna be front row too. Matter of fact, he gonna be front row. He gonna be front row. He might hand out the MVP and the championship trophy.
If that happened, it should, and that'd be cool.
Coach
That
B,
would be phenomenal.
Coach B, thank you for dropping in on us, man. Thank you for being a special guest.
Appreciate it, man.
Thank you for your support.
We get up with you,
Absolutely.
man.
brother.
Ham, matter of fact, Ham, shout out to, can I give you Ham? Shout out to the cookies, the brownies. Listen, I need more. They're done. My birthday coming up. Me and Trav share the same birthday.
Oh, okay, bad. See,
April 29th.
We had to get another order. We had to order another oven, brand new. So I'll be back in the game probably in another week or so. I got you.
Let me know. I appreciate you guys.
Trav got the same birthday?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, get out of here. That's funny, man. It's crazy.
Me, him, and Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
Not the Ravens Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson Sr. that's in the group.
Okay. All got the same birthday.
I'm gonna say, Jerry, man, come to your party then, man. Just because y'all from Baltimore.
All right, fellas.
Later, Coach.
Be good.
I gotta get one in weekend on Jerry from Baltimore. I'm convinced Jerry does not like Baltimore. Don't nobody say.
Hey, man. So as we get ready to wrap up, we getting freestyle Mondays, man. You never know how long we're gonna go. So we didn't hit an hour and a half with y'all this week. Ham, let's get before we close out, Ham. I know you want to talk about Tyler Harris, his transfer back to Memphis. The craziness of the transfer portal. So the sun has returned.
I think really I'm laughing at worldwide this.
Yes,
I don't even want to talk about it from that, but just say that, Tyler got chased through his building.
back in '88.
He was calling my crib, and I ain't even give him my numbers, But especially the way that he framed it. But this thing with Memphis, man, it's like, you know what? Until y'all put the product on the floor and it actually produces, I'm just gonna let it be what it is and let it continue to grow into what it's gonna be, because it's a revolving door of players right now.
Let me ask you something, and Trav, you down there too in that area. So let me ask y'all something. And y'all always talk about how the Memphis Tiger fan base can be, and we know Penny is the king down there.
He's the God's son. He's the Tiger's son.
How many more non-NCAA tournament seasons is he gonna be allowed?
You know what? To be honest, as many as he is, as long as he can let them guys, he got the keys to mess up as long as he runs.
And I think he got those keys to a certain extent because of how much money they lost with Cubs.
Right.
They not lose. Well, COVID changed the rules, of course, but when you look at it from where they was and where he got them back to, just in terms of drawing the excitement back to the program.
Right.
I think that afforded him a little bit more, but he gotta get in that bracket sheet. You know what I'm saying? With one of these next couple seasons. I don't, and it's like folks were like, "Well, he got the talent to do it." It's like at this point, do we really know? I mean, we can look at it for what it is on paper, but I'm at the point where I got to be shown before I even draw like real excitement and investment into it in that way. I'm rooting for him, but before I drink the Kool Aid, I can stir the Kool Aid for these fools on my timeline all day though. You know,
Yeah, you can do it. You do
I
that.
can do it all
Yeah.
day because and they in the right frame of mind because they like they roll them with it. They believe it. It's like okay, we lost these cats. Cool, we'll replace them. We get more. So their mind frame is better than what it was when you had Tubby, when you had Pastner. They see a bigger and brighter future, but it's just a matter of how long.
And
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 they
and
go ahead,
and
Trey.
that's the thing. And that's the thing. Like you, any other coach, that's there, and this stuff is happening. They don't have no more than about a year or two left.
Hell no.
Probably less than
At
that.
best, at
Probably
best.
less at best. At
Yeah.
best. Penny, this scenario, Penny got at least 3 to 5 years
And
left.
you know why. Also, that's a part of that too is that they got a new AD.
Got new AD.
The
Got new
cat
Okay.
that
AD.
the cat that hired him ain't the cat that's there now, but the cat that hired him also wasn't gonna land the Lawson boys. That's
Right.
what the fallout was with that.
Mm-hmm.
Is that they Keelan Lawson when digging the old AD and how they handled his
Correct.
situation. So it was like my boys ain't going to Memphis. You know, I send them wherever else, Oregon, wherever.
Mm-hmm.
But and that was also part of why the first two Lawson boys got out and
Got
when
out.
did they go elsewhere too.
Cause of the
Just get
AD.
told, right, just get told away from it. But different scenario, different time now, different coach, different administration, different everything.
Okay.
And so it might buy them a little time with that. And then they ain't got nowhere else to go, big shot.
he's a long way from being an A type player.
He's long because
They just extended them another 5. I think they just extended them another 5.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah. So again, 3 to 5. The
right.
city believe in him. They believe in him, but it's coming to the point now. He has to find a product to make it to the NCAA tournament, and he needs to advance a weekend too.
And it will be nice if he does that. But I think y'all know how I am as far as the NIT goes. I'm my dad's child, so therefore the best danks in America means absolutely nothing. But but in
The
this case, though,
NIT.
it was a good building block, I think, for the program. Even if
Right.
they lost guys, going out, but for the guys that they have returning, and they got the best one returned. The cat, I can't even remember his name. Big man on number 12.
Yeah,
That
Okay.
was doing
yeah,
okay. He's back. He's coming back for one more.
that's good.
King
That's
Jonas
good.
with the little bit of ass shorts, he coming back.
He got to get some.
But but the losses being there help, and that's
And
just
they got that guy from Hampton that
they got the
led
man from Hampton, right?
Thorn. Yeah,
You know,
so
so it's a matter of how fast can they get cohesive with that.
Yeah. So we're gonna wrap up, but we want to hit y'all up Thursday night. What as they say on the Masters, a tradition like no other. Thursday night, views from the 22 draft party. If y'all were here for the NBA draft party, if you've seen previous view draft parties in years prior, you know the vibes. I'm gonna be ready. I get off work at 7 Central, so I'm gonna be a little late to the party, but I will have my wings. I'm gonna have my simply on deck for the views from the 22 draft party, man. It's Germ, Vic, you know what I'm saying? It's the whole views from the 22 crew. Just
Be
doing what
prepared, man. We're gonna have some fun this year. It's gonna be a lot of trolling. I'm letting y'all know now.
Do I
I'm
need to
trolling.
appear? Do I need to appear and bring the soundboard with me?
Yes, you can, but yes, you can bring your soundboard. Ham, I'm gonna prompt you when it's time for you to hit the soundboard. This is gonna be one of the most fun draft parties. We got so much stuff going on. We got people that could be traded during the draft. This first round is gonna be fun. Shouts out to the whole scene crew, man. I mean, it's been remarkable. Y'all been kicking some ass, man. So this is just views coming back for the crew. It's about that time. I just want y'all to be ready. We're gonna have some fun. And we gonna kick it for the first round, y'all. So be ready.
The view for the 22 draft party, like y'all see me here hosting, co-hosting, whatever. That's like the one night where I just really get to be a fan. I just get to sit back and watch my guys do what they do. So it's fun, man. It's better than what you go get on NFL Network and ESPN. You might as well just put them on mute, have us turn all the way up.
Yeah, because we're gonna actually roast the little girl that the mama pulled all the way from the drafted pick. We laughing at we roasting them real tough live on YouTube.
Hey,
scandalous, baby. That's how we get down.
The only thing that I don't know yet, the only thing we're gonna see about for this whole situation and scenario is we're gonna see if we're gonna do it live on YouTube or we're gonna do it live on there, live everywhere. That's the only thing I ain't figured out yet. So we may be everywhere, cover the first round. First round normally about 4 hours. We'll see. Let me check and see what's going on.
What that means for y'all, you need to be subscribed to everything. Notifications on for everything. Whether we here, everywhere,
all times.
Make sure you tuned in, man. It's the whole crew. Shout out Germ, man. Shout out to Views crew. Ham, Trav, Coach B in the building. 94 Feet of Life, basketball for the people, by the people, signing out.